Okay, we're up here in Williamsville to take a look at changing some old stucco system on the front that is an issue. And as we went through, we deciphered we got some rotted fascia board around the house. The gutters are only a couple of years old. Not the best installation, but they're okay. But what we don't have, or what the customer doesn't have, is a lot of ventilation up in the soffits. And there's only, like, for instance, there's three small 4-inch by 16-inch vents here, which is not enough. So we're going to give them the option to do the overhangs and gutters, because we probably got close to about 50 to 60 feet of bad fascia. You can see it's rotted out behind the gutters here too. So they didn't do any justice by putting the gutters up without replacing the fascia. So what we're looking at is the option of taking the gutters down, replacing the bad fascia, creating a continuous soffit vent in around the all overhangs. You only got about a 6-inch overhang, and get the airflow going up to the roof. They've got a ridge vent system on here. It's a rolled ridge vent up at the top, but it's not going to the end. It's not cut wide open, and it's an inferior product that really isn't creating the exit air that's necessary. So on the front here, we got this the old stucco system that we're looking at getting rid of it, and possibly redefining these corners. We can trim those out in the brown aluminum and put in a horizontal vinyl siding. I've got some pictures I'll send the customer of jobs that we did almost the exact same thing. Matter of fact, one's right around the corner from here. I'm going to give them the option for this inside cove entrance here of either just going ahead and pulling the stucco out, or even shooting over it. I would pull it out. It's just too wavy. But we could go over it with a 3/8 leveling board, vinyl sided. But if the term is long, I'd recommend getting it out, and even look at the option of maybe creating like a column post on the inside here with a AZAC or a polyvinyl. I mean, we can really do some really nice things to this entranceway here. But that's all it takes is money. We've got the horizontal, all of our horizontal ribbon board is shot. They're getting leaking down into the basement now, right on real bad rains. Right where that end cap of that gutter meets the wall is where everything's infiltrating. It's shown up down in the beam down there. Everything behind that end cap is rotted out. So when we expose all of this, we're probably going to end up having to replace the step flashings on the shingles, and then we'll run ice shield up the walls, and then of course everything that we take off is going to have a vapor barrier and an option for additional 1/2 or 3/4 insulation. So what we can do is still define these ribbon boards. Like, we would take and go right underneath that gutter, basically where that lower ribbon board is, and redefine it in brown aluminum, capping it, make it look nice. Define the corners is what I would recommend doing, and then just making a nice brown window trim around the windows, and then running the horizontal siding in between. Taking in, obviously, the new siding is going to be 3/4 of an inch or an inch off of the roof, so it's not going to be laying on the roof like this stuff is. We're going to rearrange that downspout, make it look a little bit nicer than what it is. They went ahead and they ran it over to the other gutter, which is fine. And then this downspout here, this gutter's been leaking, or water's been going behind this gutter also. So we're probably going to, once we take this off, we'll see the water trails on all of this, but you can see how punked out it is. And we got a freeze board on the front brick here where the brick meets the soffit, so that freeze board's going to get trimmed. We got a header we're going to trim out too, and so we're going to separate the siding on the front with the overhangs on the house, and then of course obviously we'll have our footage of bad fascia. On the garage door, we'll take, and if they choose, we'll have a price for the garage door trim, take care of the beat up wood at the bottom. Our brick boards, where our brick meets our siding, that's behind this downspout, that gets trimmed with aluminum. But you can see some of this fascia, you might not in the shadows here, but some of this fascia is rotted right out. So I'm going to call out about 50 feet. And there's one downspout that's on the back that I'd recommend enlarging to a 3x4. Actually, both of these downspouts that take this upper roof that lead into drain tiles, those should be bigger downspouts. There's a lot of volume of water coming in there. I also want an option to replace the ridge vent with a shingle 2 ridge vent with the softening. Okay, this fabric from the awning is going to have to be down for us to do the work. The skeleton can stay. The fabric will have to be down, but we're a little bit behind, so their season will probably be over when that happens. I don't know if you can even see anything with the sun glaring in. And we got some windows. They're going to have to look at doing some of their windows here. I'm not going to do anything on the bay or the windows because there's going to be a lot to digest just with this. But you can see how a lot of this, the bottom windows are they're ready to be done. This one on the side of the house is they're shot. So that's something that they're going to want to figure in their future endeavors. They're looking at a long-term stay. They love the area, the school system, and the house, which rightfully so. Also going to give them an option for gutter helmet. There's that chimney over there, so we're going to give them an option to helmet this section here where this tree is, and that would make sense. But where this little box window comes out, that should be all trimmed with brown at the corners, and then the vinyl in between. We do a real nice color scheme here. The peaks will be trimmed. The peaks do not get vented, so they just get trimmed with a solid. And yes, there is an active bee's nest up there. I just need a couple of them fly out. So that's what we're going to do. Yeah, you can see there is no ridge vent on this up at that peak there. There's a ridge vent on the main, which is lifting up, but there's none there. So you've got, like 5-6 feet of extra ridge vent that would help get this airflow to work a little better. And you can see how high. There's actually 2 different types of ridge vent on here. There's rolled ridge vent, and they got some, looks like somebody just used whatever they had laying around. And this is definitely rolled ridge vent on this reverse gable here. So let's get the air flowing and get this moving.